What's the first thing a new client or customer does when they're trying to evaluate whether or not you are the person that they should work with? Well, if you're selling something individually as a company, the first thing they'll do is they'll go to your website and they'll want to look at, who are you? What do you do? Um, they're going to look at your bio if you have a bio there. They're going to look at your clients. They're going to roam around your website to see what kind of work you've done and who you've done it with. They're going to look at the quality of your presentation and they're going to assess, are you the person to do business with? And this is precisely the kind of thing you have to do when you are looking at how you're presenting yourself, how you're presenting your brand, how you're presenting your offering out there in the marketplace. Now, there's a surprising thing that happens for many people. Many people have no idea how they're coming across, and they don't realize that they have a credibility problem. And often when I'm working with a client, I will spot a credibility problem that is the reason why they're not attracting clients. It's the reason why they can't build on relationships. And it's the reason why their business is just not coming together. There's a credibility problem. The first thing you must remember is when you're out there marketing today, basically no one believes you. If they don't know your name, they don't know where you come from, they don't know your background, they don't believe you, because today everybody is marketing. Everybody is presenting so much information online. And when I look at someone online, my first thought is, oh, this is interesting, this is nice, but I do look at it with a bit of cynicism. So when I see someone online and they say, look, I've got 10 years of experience in this, my reaction, because of my experience, is, wow, you just got started. I look at what someone's saying and how they're saying it, and if someone is talking about wealth, I'm gauging their demeanor, their depth. I'm looking based on decades of experience to evaluate whether this is someone I should pay attention to. Well, your audience is doing the same, and that is the first thing you have to consider when you're out there. Audience. Who are you talking to? Who are you offering this to? Many people are out there marketing products and services, and they have no idea who they're aiming this at. And as a result, they have no idea how it is received by the person who is taking a look at what they're doing. The other day I was talking to someone and I said, who is your audience? Who are you aiming at? Because the person will listen to what you're saying, they'll look at you, they'll look at what you're presenting, and they'll have a judgment based on whether or not they are in the audience or not, whether there's a real fit. Often there's a mismatch. So the first thing you have to figure out is, what audience am I really speaking to? It's not just about picking up a product and opening a store or going online or shooting a video or sending out a direct mail piece. It's about identifying, who am I talking to and why should that person listen to? Which brings me to the second point, which is, why should they listen to you? Now, why should they listen to you is about your experience, your insightfulness, your results, your command of information. All of those things a person is going to process right away. And I have to tell you that one of the key things that the audience will not necessarily ask you about, but you can feel, is, does this person believe themselves? Does this person really believe what they're saying? Now, this can be tricky because often a person will believe what they're saying because they have limited experience. So they believe what they're saying, and what they're saying is valuable, but it's valuable to someone who has limited experience. And that is the key when it comes to communicating a message in terms of who you're speaking to. You have to find people out there who value what you have to offer. And that is the starting point for most businesses, for most sales professionals. You've got to find that person who is receptive to what you're saying. It is one thing to offer a product, and it's another thing to offer that product to someone who really, really gets it. A few years ago, I remember writing a newsletter about going to a restaurant. Went to a restaurant with some people, and we pulled up to the restaurant, and there were lines of cars, getting valet parking, going into this restaurant. And when we walked in, it smelled like garbage to me. This restaurant smelled like garbage, but it was something that people wanted. This I won't tell you what kind of restaurant it was, but everyone wanted this. So I was looking around, and it was very unappetizing to me, but it was the right audience. It was aimed at the right place. So, who is offering this? Is this person credible? The restaurant business, if you're aiming a particular dish at a community, very often a person will say, well, I can make this better at home. So do you have credibility? Why you? And why should they take advantage of what you have to offer? Now, the third thing you have to remember when it comes to credibility is you have to break into new markets. So if you want to build your business and you want to have better and better clients, you've got to go out and find better clients, or else you'll be stuck with those people with whom you have credibility but can't pay big prices, but won't pay larger prices, won't engage in deeper levels. So here's what you have to do. You have to find better clients and do something small with them. Find better clients and sell something small to them. I used to, growing up, I would go into these fancy stores, and I couldn't pay for any of those things in there, but I'd buy a keychain, or I'd buy something that was relatively inexpensive, and that would feel great that I would have this logo and I was able to have this experience. So if you're on the other side of that, you're selling, you have a business, and you're trying to break through to a market with whom you don't have the credibility yet, find something small you can do for them. Find a baseball cap you can sell them. Find, if you're a designer, a tag for a product that you can design. Something that is modest that will enable you to move into a new market. And I'm bringing this up because that will then serve as credibility to go out and get more clients, more companies like that. So if you're pitching entrepreneurs and you can say, well, I'm doing business with the fellow who owns the grocery store down the block. You might be doing something very small with that person, but to another entrepreneur, that person will react and say, wow, that's interesting. That's great. Well, maybe we can do business together. Because one of the things they're going to look for are your clients, who's doing business with you. So this process is very important in terms of establishing your credibility out there. It's a lot of noise today. A lot of people are experts in all kinds of things. A lot of people don't have lots of experience by my standards, but they could bring lots of value. If you are in a position where you think your credibility may not be strong, remember those three things. Number one, who is your audience? Who are you aiming at? Is the product, the service, the message, is it a fit? Number two, why should they choose you? Why should they listen to you? Do you have credibility with this audience? Do you have experience with this audience? And is that experience meaningful to this audience? Some people will look at you and they'll just decide, I'm not going to do business with you. I hate to tell you that, but because of your age, because of any number of reasons, they'll look at you and they'll say, I'm not doing business with you. And the third thing is, you can't grow if you're not playing up. So, in sports we talk about playing up, playing in a different class, playing against people who are a little better than you. That will help you redefine your ability and redefine the arena in which you can play. And a great way to do that when it comes to a business, sales and marketing, is to find an entry level opportunity that you can do for a larger client, a client in a better category, a client that will give you more credibility. If you like this tip, give me a thumbs up. Let me know you liked it. Share it with someone in your network. Make sure you subscribe to my channel because I have a lot more coming, and I'll see you next time.